Hey, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this will be a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you're new to tarot, just know that not every reading is going to resonate. And so if you feel like I'm wrong, or this just isn't your reading, go ahead and disregard it. You never want to take a reading that's not for you. I'll also pull cards like King, Queen, Emperor, and Empress, and those cards describe a really specific personality, but they have nothing to do with the sex or gender of the person being described. Some people feel like the energies are reversed, and if you feel like that's you, go ahead and take it that way. If you want to catch more readings, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I do also offer some private personals. All that information's in the description of the video and in the pin section of the comments. No. Goodness. So we have kissing butt, bad reputation, unfazed, wolf in sheep's clothing, jackpot, and haunted. Okay. So the overall energy here is judgment. We have strength, the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. The King of Cups, the Emperor, the Ace of Cups. The Seven of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the World. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. So just to call signs, because some people find that relevant, we have Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Aries. Someone is asking for forgiveness here. Here's the thing, is like, I think someone made a mistake and felt like almost like I want to say that you needed them, that you wouldn't make it on your own, and well, they definitely fucked around and found out here, because with the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, you don't need nobody. Now, on their end, they're getting advice from someone, and whoever this Emperor is very knowledgeable. This is a person who plays no games with this person. It could even be like their parent or like their best friend or something like that. Someone who holds no hunches, you know. They are unbiased in the situation. They will tell someone where they've gone wrong, and I feel like they're actually pretty vulnerable with this person. So they are explaining to this person essentially where they know that they went wrong. I think that it's more the way that they move. Like someone is expressing to them that, like, they themselves are not moving correctly, that they're kind of set in their own ways, and that sometimes it could come off like someone's like wearing a mask, or like they could just come off confusing. So I think there's somebody in their life who's keeping it really real with them. You can't have relationships in life where you're playing games with people, where you're confusing people, where people don't, they feel like the relationship's not going anywhere, or it's stuck. You can't look at the other person and just kind of like look at them as the problem. You have to pay attention to your own energy here. So whoever the emperor is in their life, it's like they're trying to help them to understand their own way. um I feel like this person comes from a place, though, of loss and success. It's like whoever they're talking to could be in a very successful relationship now, but they really lost a relationship in the past due to like their own issues. And I feel like there's some quality around that situation where it's like something that ended in their life that maybe, it's like it humbled them. It made them really see where they were messing up at, that it wasn't the other person that needed to change. I think that someone is basically calling someone out on their bad behavior, and they know that they're like this because it's been a problem that they've seen in someone's relationships time and time again, or just what they see in relationships all of the time. So someone's giving really solid advice to someone who's in your life, and it really comes from experience. So essentially, I feel like this person is advising this person, with the kissing ass card, that, it's not going to be as simple as just talking to someone. Like, you will have to actually, like, work hard to get someone back here. Because, whoever the Queen of Pentacles is here, whether it's you or this is all in the reverse, completely unfazed. They don't care. They feel like this person, is a wolf in sheep's clothing. When they approach that it's some form of manipulation, that they're not being honest about, what they're saying. And it's because of whatever has happened in the past. But actually, there is some change here where someone else has stepped in, and this is someone whose opinion is respected. They've either asked, like they really have gotten vulnerable with this person to see like what it is that they can do. So at the end of the day, someone's trying enough to open up to someone else. And I feel like I said, there's this really deep conversation that a person's having where it's like, I lost the relationship with somebody that I really, really cared about. It fucked me up for a long time. But in reality, it was like I was doing this and this and this. And like those things just don't work in a relationship. And I see you doing the same thing, period. So I think someone is approaching here to, try to apologize. But things have changed because I feel like, you're a lot more confident. You really like know your worth these days. And like, I don't know, there just seems to be like this knowing that other people would be attracted to you. And it's more than just the physicalities. It's like, sure, you're physically attractive, but underneath it, you have way more going on in your life. It's looking like a lot of security and stability, a lot of self-control. Like there's just something on your end where like this person, they may have thought that they had a game plan and that they were going to, be able to move how they move and just kind of like keep you stuck in place with like little games. And maybe that's something they've had to do to keep relationships in the past, but it ain't fucking working with you. And someone's calling out the behavior. For some of you, it's straight up, whoever this emperor is signifying that someone else needs to be cut out of their life, that this is really the problem. Because for some of you, that is the issue. Like, this person has gotten a bad reputation with you because there's someone else in their life. And this doesn't mean it's sexual or anything, you know what I mean? This could be like someone's, 12-year ex that they just once in a while say hi to. And that's not okay with you, you know what I mean? And this friend is saying, no, this person's not fucking crazy. That's something you don't do. That would violate most people's boundaries, Either you have to learn to close something out to really be in what you're in, or do it the other way around. But you can't just ask somebody to, put their boundaries on the floor so that you can walk all over them and then tell them that they're crazy. It's like something like that. And for not all of you does this actually involve another person. For some of them, it's this, this Queen of Wands here is someone that this Emperor had to lose because they wouldn't just act right, or they made the same mistake that this person is making. Or they're coming from the perspective of somebody else did that to them, and this is what it's like to be with somebody that's like that. Whether you like to see it or not, like this is what it feels like when somebody treats you like that, even if you aren't seeing it as wrong in the moment. So it's just someone with a much better perspective, but they also know this King of Cups really well. The Two of Cups, the High Priestess, the Eight of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck, the Moon. So some Cancer and some Pisces energy here. And see, that's the problem is like, with this Ace of Cups, like the Emperor could be saying, hey, bro, if and I'm saying bro, but like women call each other that here in America too, but hey, do you even tell a person that you love them? Like, do you show up like you appreciate them? Like, are you grateful for them? Like, there's some things that just aren't said or aren't shown that someone really keeps to themselves. Now, what's messed up about it is that someone really, I think, is deeply in love with you. Like they feel like it really is some type of like soul connection. It's just deeper than other relationships that they've had. And that includes, for some of you, with whoever this other person was. And I think somebody's about to just sort of, like, somebody is telling them that they can't keep that, that they need to just be real about their feelings and their intentions towards a person. That clarity usually is the next step to a relationship progressing. I don't know who their friend or their parent or whoever this Emperor is, but this person's wise as hell. They know how to talk to this person without getting them, like too defensive or offended. But basically, they're just being advised to really speak out about how they feel and what's really going on instead of just like, leaving someone else in some kind of mental torture and always trying to figure it out. It's almost like, someone I think is just super avoidant. They don't, they're afraid to be like rejected and to have any kind of like conflict. And so they may sort of not be as vulnerable as you. And whoever the Emperor is really recognizes this as the problem. Like 90% of how of love is just pure vulnerability with one another, Because it looks like there's a situation that just really needs some clarity. And the Emperor's like, it's really that fucking hard to clear something up? Like... and I like whoever this person is. It's about the things that are not said and the things that are not shown, and that's the problem. Somebody's not showing any vulnerability. They could be showing up like they don't care at all, even if they don't see it that way. They're like, oh, I'm just being strong. I'm not, I don't need to act crazy or follow someone around and tell them that I care about them or that I appreciate them. They should just know because I'm still around. And it's like, dude, that is so indifferent to a person. For love, that's kind of strange. The Ten of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Three of Wands. The Fool, the Six of Cups, the Nine of Wands, so some Aquarius energy here, and at the bottom of the deck, some Capricorn energy with the Devil. Excuse me. So I think that things will, like if, a person's trying to communicate, they're trying to apologize, I think things are going to get easier. Even if you didn't choose to take them back, or even if you still choose to walk away, there will be some type of vulnerability shown to you here. But for most of you, this is all that you're looking for. Like in the past, you feel like, a person was like wounding your like childhood wounds with something, maybe because, I'm seeing the Six of Cups and the Devil with the Nine of Wands, and maybe they just didn't, it's like almost like they didn't understand. But you need to be patient with this person because you're not the only one with the wounds. That's kind of what's being advised, is like someone's being vulnerable with you about what they don't understand or know how to show. And just like whatever they do really triggers something in you, it's kind of the same way with them. So it's important to understand where someone else is coming from. They may also have fears. They may also have triggers. They may also just have bad coping skills, but someone is really trying to be open about it here. And it's important for you to actively listen, because the clarification that you're looking for, I think, is coming in here too, But first, it's like this person really wasn't self-aware. So you could think they're the biggest dick in the world, but like it's just really two different mindsets. One person feels like when there's some conflict, it's time to bring it up right then and there, have that conversation, dead it immediately so that it's not a problem later on. Another person may not be good with conflict. They'll kind of tell you like what they think you want to hear in the situation to kind of just like end the conversation, and then later it may not line up with something and it causes bigger issues. It's like just two really different mindsets, not necessarily two assholes, if that makes sense. And whoever the emperor is really mediating a situation, but more so on your behalf. It's like, I don't feel like they're, berating a person or something, but I feel like they're willing to tell a person about themselves because they really do see you, like where you're coming from and what it's doing to you. So I think where there's some conflict, you can sort of, count on some resolution here. That's basically what's going on here. Because this person, they feel like they hit the jackpot and they screwed it up by pushing the wrong buttons. And I feel like here it's like, even if they're kissing your ass, no matter what, it's like they can't shake how you feel about them here. Like you're just not reacting to any cutesy-wootsy things that they're doing. Let me grab a card from here and I'll close this out. Okay, so we have cleansing energy. I purify myself with positive energy. I cleanse toxicity and habits that don't serve me. In this space, I cultivate wholeness and embrace a cleansing energy. Definitely something is losing its toxicity. Let's say that. I just feel like someone's coming at you with the correct maturity now, and it's like whatever the problem was in the past, it'll sort of just, go away. Things are going to get more positive now. I do like that you upheld your boundaries, though, that you will choose to just actively cut a person out of your life if they can't show up with the bare minimum. And I really like that. Honestly, it's kind of rare in today's world. It's bad, but it's true. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.